My name is Prapassorn Ratanakul. Today I will present you about ASEAN for Myanmar country. And the cause for this presentation is ASEAN and Emerging Market Studies for Entrepreneurs. So let's start with it. First of all, we will talk about physical information about Myanmar. So physical information about Myanmar is located in the northwesternmost country of mainland Southeast Asia, and the shape of Myanmar country is seem like a kite with a long tails that run south along with Malay Peninsula, and the areas of Myanmar is 676,575 kilometers square. So Myanmar is considered as the largest country in the mainland of Southeast Asia. Basically, if we talk about the largest country in the Southeast Asia, we could say that it is Indonesia, but they have many islands. So if we talk about mainland, Myanmar is considered as the largest country of mainland of Southeast Asia. So let's shift to the borders country. The nearest country of Myanmar are on the northwest is Bangladesh and India. Northeast is China, and east and southeast is Laos and Thailand. And the ocean is Bay of Bengal and the Andaman Sea. So let's talk about the capital city of Myanmar. The capital city of Myanmar is Naypyidaw, and the largest city of Myanmar is Yangon. So Yangon is also the old capital city of Myanmar, but right now it changes to Naypyidaw. And the major city of Myanmar including Mandalay, Thangji, Yangon, Bago, Upper An. And Myanmar also have the province, which Myanmar is very large country, so they are divided into 21 administration division of Myanmar. So it is considered with 7 states, 7 regions, 5 self-administered zones, 1 self-administered division, and 1 union territories. So the 7 states of Myanmar is including Kachin state government, Kaya state government, Kayin state government, Chin, Mon, Rakhine, and Chan. And the 7 regions of Myanmar is: first is Ayeyarwady region's government, second is Bago, third is Makwe, fourth is Mandalay, fifth is Sakhin, sixth is Thanin Thai, and seventh is Yangon region's government. And let's talk about the 5 self-administered zones. This is including first is Nadu self-administered zone, and second is Kokan, third is Naga, fourth is Baruang, fifth is Bao self-administered division zone, and 1 self-administered divisions of Myanmar is Wa self-administered divisions. The largest 1 union territory is Naypyidaw, as it is also the capital city of Myanmar. So let's shift to next point, which is population. So Myanmar population is estimated around 55.1 million according to 2022. And Myanmar country have men populations for 49.3% and female populations for 50.7%. And the population density in Myanmar is 83 per kilometer square. Also, Myanmar population is equivalent to 0.7% of the total world population. Many people in Myanmar also live in the urban area. This is around 31.4%. It is around 17 million people in Myanmar live in urban areas. And let's talk to the next point is occupations. The main industry in Myanmar is agriculture. People in Myanmar is employing around 65% of the labor force. Myanmar also is the agriculture country. Myanmar is also was one ASEAN's largest exporters of rice, and another main crop are precious bean, sesame, groundnuts, sugar cane, rubber, and fish. Let's talk about the Myanmar's governments. They also imported the main source, which is natural gas and oil. They exported like natural gas and oil to many countries around the world, including Thailand also. So let's talk about Myanmar's main export partners. Myanmar's main export partners are China, India, Japan, South Korea, Germany, Indonesia, and Hong Kong. And the top 5 carriers for Myanmar is first one is petroleum engineering, second is sales and business development, third is civil engineering, fourth is market and creative design, and fifth is software development and programming. The Myanmar's per capita income or GDP. So the gross domestic products per capita in Myanmar was recorded at 1,400.22 US dollar. Around right, the estimated to Thai baht is 46,527 Thai baht. Let's talk about the religions in Myanmar. So most of the people in Myanmar are respect to Buddhist for 87.9%. Right, they respect to Theravada Buddhism. Foreigners with the Christians for 6.2%. Third is Muslim for 4.3% and animists for 0.8%. Right, animist is the religions that people believe in all natural phenomena, including like human beings, animals, plants, and also right rocks, lakes, mountains, weather, and they also believe and worship to soul and spirit. And with the following after animist is Hindu for 0.5%, and people who don't have religions for 0.1%. Foods of Myanmar. So in Myanmar have right the different ethnic group. Like in Myanmar have right 125 ethnic group that the people can record this. In Myanmar country will have like the different styles for cooking and preparations food. Myanmar also have right 3 major cousins which share the border country together with Indian, Thai, and Chinese. Food in Myanmar is also they have the rice is the main staple food. This is often served as the plain white rice along with the fish or meat, mains, and slices of vegetable. So fish also play a huge role in the local dish and is quite common for meals to be served with a fish sauce. And another popular dish including like noodles and eaters fries or parts of the soup. So the local people also eat like the curry regularly. This is the example foods of Myanmar, right? This one is mohinga. So mohinga is considered as the unofficial nation's dish for Myanmar. This is like the noodles. So basically, like the people also eat this in the breakfast, but simply you can eat this for any time. And this one is also like tree leaf salad. Tree leaf salad is the kind of salad made from tree leaf, right? Many people in Myanmar also eat like the vegetable in their meals. Also, this one is like Myanmar's staple foods, rice and curry. This is like people in Myanmar also eat it in their meals, like in home, also going outside. So this one they also eat like the steamed rice as a main dish and different curries of fish, chickens, pork, salads, Kia soup, also with the vegetable. As I talk, like Myanmar people usually eat like vegetable in their meals. Let's shift to the culture of Myanmar. Like I mentioned before, right, Myanmar have different culture. Like they have around like 135 different ethnic group. So Myanmar traditional culture is an amalgam of folk and local culture. Also, Buddhism has been a part of Myanmar's culture since the 1st century AD and blends with the non-Buddhist belief. If we come to Myanmar country, we can see, right, they have magnificent architectures and sculptures in many temples and monasteries. As the notable cities, right, Bagans, Banaras and Yangon. Like it is noticed we can say we can see from the Bagan. Also it is also known as like Sea of Pagoda because like in Bagans they have like many temple and pagoda. It is around like more than 2,000 temple and pagodas there. Also the culture of Myanmar, if you go to Myanmar or see the Myanmar country who live around the world, you can see right Myanmar people put Thanaka in their face. Right, Thanaka is like made from the cow bark. It is like distinctive features of the culture of Myanmar. So we can see commerce in their face and sometimes in their arms. We can mostly from like the women's and girl, and also dresses extends for the men and boy. So this is also one of the culture of Myanmar. Right? They put Tanaka on their face and their bodies. Races in Myanmar. As I tell you before, right, Myanmar have like many ethnic groups, around like 135 distinct ethnic groups recorded by the Burmese government, and they also have like the major scope for the national ethnic races with 8 major national ethnic races, which is including say Burma, Shin, Khain, Karen, Khaya, Mon, Rakhine, and Shan. Let's talk about history of Myanmar. Do you know right where these Burmese people come from? So if you don't know, I will tell you. Right? Burmese people are come from many places around the Southeast Asia. First, they have recorded that they come from Yunnan, China. They are the first migrated people to Myanmar. They are moved to Irrawaddy valleys in the 7th centuries, and they observed another ethnic group such as the Payuns and the Mons. Second, they also say that like Northeast Asians and Indian. So the genes pool of Burma was far more diverse than another ethnic group such as Karen, Yi, and Mon people. Third is Tibet. In the 9th century, Chinese source indicated that Sino-Tibetan speaking types were present to the Irrawaddy rivers. These types were considered as the ancestors of Burma people. And let's talk about the history of Myanmar. Right? Myanmar have a long and complex history which divided into main periods, which first one is Pondajis, Mons, Payuns, Bagans, Tongus, and Tongbang's dynasty, and also the British rule in Myanmar. Let's talk about the first one, which is Pondajis. So Myanmar history had evolved through the Stone Ages, right? They found the previous fossil that is have like the man-like creatures around like 40 million years ago in the Pondangs. So this is come from like the evidence, and second one is like the Mon. Mon is the first identity civilization in Myanmar. Like small people properly begins emerging into the areas of Myanmar in the port of Tatons in about 300 before centuries, which developed into an important trading center. In the 6th before century, it also have the recorded that settlers all over the south and their first kingdom, which is the Suvarnabhumi. This is also mean that like the golden sand. So that time right, the Myanmar have go about the trading center a lot to exchange and traded with another city. And third one is Payun. From the 1st century AD, the Payun settlers in the central Myanmar. So in this period, they have the Buddhism religions come to Myanmar, and they are found like highly civil cities kingdom, which is based of the trading center in the 7th and 8th century. And the first is Bagan. During this period, Myanmar was a part of an overland trading route from China to India. Brumans have found a powerful kingdom center on the city of Bagan and fills the voids left by the Payun. Bagan has become the center of a great Buddhist kingdom. Also, today are one of the most magnificent sites in all of Southeast Asia. As I mentioned before, right, Bagan, or it is also called as a Sea of Pagoda. In that city, right, they have many temples and pagoda, which is around like more than 2,000 temple and pagoda there. So this is recognized as in this period the Buddhisms are very powerful during this period. Fifth is Tongwu and Komang's period. So after the first Mongol invasions of Myanmar in 1287, that time is have like very small kingdom, including the kingdom of Awas, the Hantaswati kingdom, kingdom of Margil and Shan states were the principal power because at that time they have like a lot of war and alliances. So this period is also like the golden age of Myanmar's Burmese culture, and it is also go more confidence powerful. So this time right, Myanmar is have a lot of area around the Southeast Asia. But however, Myanmar come to the last ruling dynasty during the Ayurveda. After that, right, the British rule come to Myanmar. So in 1886, after the three wars with the British, so Myanmar become the British colony. The three war Anglo-Myanmar War in 1824, 1852, and 1885 have their origins in British economics, politics, interest in Myanmar. And British rule in the Myanmar starts from 1824 to 1948, which is around 124 years. After that, British give an independence to Myanmar during like the World War II on 1st January 1948. Let's talk about the trend in Myanmar. So Myanmar was covering the e-commerce riders event periods between the pandemics. Business in Myanmar are still mostly under the cash-based economics, but COVID-19 pandemics have forced individuals, employers, and business to move to online platform, which drive the cost of e-commerce and e-service. Accordingly, the authority starts to set new regulations to catch up the digital economies. Myanmar e-commerce firms have seen a spike in sales during lockdown because COVID-19 encouraged consumers to stock up on hand sanitizers, dry foods, canned goods, and other essential items. Myanmar people come move to online platform because during COVID-19, right, Myanmar people couldn't go outside, so they try to move to use e-commerce platform, e-service, and etc. However, also Myanmar is one of the greatest impact challenge is the lack of the IT capacities and technology skill. So right now they also try to develop the IT capacities and also the technological skill. Let's talk about the economic situation in Myanmar. So Myanmar economic is covering and experts predict more irregularity and zero growth in 2022 because it has many points due to Myanmar distress. Right? First one we will talk about the military coup. Second is boycott. Third is export and import. For this worker. So first one we will talk about the military coup in Myanmar. So in the Southeast Asian country, economics have been rapid declines following the shouts of February's military coup in 2021 in Myanmar. So thousands of citizens have gone on strikes, also referring to the worst under the military rule, including healthcare workers, lawyers, teachers, engineers. Shortly after the movements began, Myanmar bankers joined and refused to go to work. That poses cash flow problem for the population and businesses, but also the military in Myanmar. And second is boycotts. Other years have gone on, militaries owned or affiliated business face large boycott. Governments have hard order with Myanmar's manufacturing industry, while Chinese-made products have been boycotted amidst allegations that China supports Myanmar military junta. Beijing have blocked a UN Security Council statement condemning the coup. Third is exports and imports. Myanmar agriculture, marines, minerals, and manufactures exports have soared. Whilst raw materials and investments imports have been declining since 2020, Myanmar business registrations also have failed by 44% this year. Whilst there have been rapid changes in variations of Myanmar currencies, the yards against the US dollar in recent months. The last but not least point is worker feelings for their life. Thousands of workers feel their rural home because of the increased fighting between national soil and opposition groups. Factories and businesses have also caused, leading to increased unemployment and lost income. A report by the International Labour Organization or ILO stated that there were 1.2 million job loss in the second quarters of 2021. All sectors of Myanmar's economies were affected, with the tourist, hospitality, constructions, and garment sector hitting the worst. So right now the economic situation in Myanmar have like a lot of problems on this. Also on the political situations, so right now Myanmar also have like the political situations. This is also known as like the Myanmar military coup. So when did the military coup take place? The military serves control on the 1st February 2021 following a general elections with Aung San Suu Kyi NLD's parties won by a landslide. So it have backed the opposition side who were demanding Iran's word because they came in vice president's force. However, the elections commission said there was no evidence to support this claim. What happened in the COP? So the opposition's activists have formed the campaigns for civil disobedience or CDM and have held organized strikes and mass protests against the COP. The militaries have pushed them down with rifles, water cannons, and rubber bullets. What started as civil disobedience have now turned into efficiencies as civil war across Myanmar. Therefore, there have many people killed in this situation. So who is in charge right now? Military commanders in chief is Min Aung Han have taken power. He have a long, vital, significant political influence, successfully maintaining the powers of the Tasmada's Myanmar military. Even as the country moved towards democracy, he has received the international condemnation. One of the important persons in Myanmar is also Aung San Suu Kyi. Aung San Suu Kyi became the world famous in 1990s for campaigning to restore democracy. In 2015, she led NLD's two victories in Myanmar's first openly contest election in 20 years. So Ms. Aung San Suu Kyi have been sentenced to 6 years in jail for violating the country officials' act, posting illegal workers, talkies, and publishing information that may cause fear or alarm. She was sentenced to 6 years in jail. She is 26 years old. Ms. Aung San Suu Kyi is going on trial against accused of corruption over the purchase of helicopters amongst another chance. And another point is social environments. Myanmar is abundant in diverse national habits. So in Myanmar have many wildlife originating from the north, south, Southeast Asia, as well as the vast forests and extensive river networks flowing from the North Himalayan mountains southwards to the Mangos rivers, deltas, and the Bay of Bengal. Myanmar boasts the highest proportions of the forest cover in the mainland of Southeast Asia. So Myanmar have the many forests in their country, but unfortunately, Myanmar are under stress by humans' activity and climate change. Myanmar rate of deforestation is one of the highest in the world. Factors to this premise including the degradation of forests, poor agriculture practice, illegal quarrying, improper mining practice, and international demand for Myanmar resources for engineering use and also agricultural commodities exports. Bigger issue to attack foreign investors in Myanmar. Since the coup in Myanmar on the 1st February 2021, some of the foreign investors have pulled out, suspended, or scaled down their business in Myanmar country. However, before these situations, the bigger issue to attack the foreign investor are the foreign which include the economic growth and the locations and connectivity in Myanmar country. So first of all, I will talk about the economic growth. So Myanmar economies have continuously growth at the approximate 6 to 8% since 2012. So Myanmar's overall growth strategy is built on a complementation mix of the policies to simultaneously enables modernizations in industry, agriculture, and infrastructure, diversifications of the export base, and the explanations of values at products for domestic and international market. To encourage economic growth, Myanmar also created 3 special economic zones in Thai Rawas, Kayapuyas, and Dawei. They also created that this would have been set up by the Myanmar government. This provides the investment incentive and simplifies process for investors, with the hope that this international standards industry facilities will become growth engines of the new Myanmar. And another thing is location and connectivity. So Myanmar is the largest country in the mainland of Southeast Asia. Beyond this, they will have a domestic market of more than 50 million citizens. This is directly access to the China, Indian, ASEAN, and another international markets to the ports along the Bay of Bengal and the Andaman Seas. After the decades of the international associations prevent the modernizations and expansions in infrastructure network, the Myanmar government is also establishments of efficiency national and international supply chains for the future economic growth, particularly in terms of power infrastructure, road, rails, air, and ports. Another point is competitive advantage of the country. The normalized reverse competitive advantage or NRCA index is computed to compare the agricultural competitiveness between Myanmar and its competitors from 2007 to 2016. The results show that first, Myanmar agricultural export sectors enjoys competitive advantage in the global markets, but this is not competitive when compared with the major competitors. And the second is Myanmar divorces are high levels of NRCAS in backgrounds, peers, national suburb, sesame seeds, rice, and foreign fish in certain years. Third is three major policy implications are drawn, including diversifying Myanmar's export portfolios, strengthening export promotions and developments, and attacks foreign direct investment to update the cross-border value chains and the number of entrepreneurship foreign and international investors. Foreign direct investment or FDIs. So FDI in Myanmar averaged 486.12 US millions from 2012 to 2021, reaching an all-time high of 3,821.91 US millions in March of 2016 and a record low of 0 US millions in April of 2021. And ASEAN Development Banks or ADB SMEs in 2020 number of enterprise total is 83,591 and number of SME is 25,116 and number of the large enterprise is 8,475. If talk about the country have the highest investment in Myanmar, I would say that it is the Singapore. Singapore was the largest single foreign investor in the 2019 to 2020 fiscal years. So Myanmar official figures show, but when mainland China and Hong Kong figures are combined, they emerged on the top. So that's it for this presentation. Thank you for watching. สวัสดีค่ะ บ๊ายบาย